If you've ever had a cat curl up on your lap, well, you know the feeling. That gentle, rhythmic vibration, that soft, rumbling sound. It's got to be one of the most comforting sounds on the planet. But what's actually going on in there? Let's dive in and unravel this fascinating feline mystery.
Yeah, that sound. We hear it, and our brains almost automatically translate it to pure happiness. And you know what? A lot of the time, that's exactly what it is. But that's only one chapter in a much more complex and honestly surprising story.
So here's the big question we're tackling today. Is a purr just a cat's way of smiling, or is there something more going on? A secret language, maybe? A tool? Or, and stick with me here, maybe even a kind of superpower? The answer is way more interesting than you'd think.
Okay, so before we can decode the why, we first have to understand the how. I mean, how does a cat even make that unique sound? It's not like breathing, and it's definitely not like meowing. It's this really specialized piece of biological engineering.
The secret really lies deep inside the cat's voice box, with something called the laryngeal muscles. Now, these aren't just any old muscles. They're made of incredibly fast twitch fibers, perfectly designed to vibrate and create the foundation for that classic sound.
It's a pretty cool four-step process. First, the cat's brain sends a little signal down to the larynx. In response, those specialized muscles start vibrating at an incredible speed. Then, as the cat breathes in and out, air flows past these vibrating muscles and, voila, you get that continuous purring sound. And that vibration is what spreads through their body, creating that gentle rumble we can actually feel.
All right, so we've got the how down. Now, let's get back to the big question. Why do they do it? This is where we move beyond the simple mechanics and get into the really fascinating world of cat communication.
You can basically think of the purr as having two very different sides. On one hand, you have the content purr. That's the one we all know and love when a cat feels safe, relaxed, and happy on your lap. But then there's the need purr. A cat might purr when it's terrified at the vet's office, or even when it's in pain. In that context, the meaning completely flips. It becomes a self-soothing mechanism, the cat's way of saying, okay, I need to calm myself down right now.
So you see, the purr is like a cat's Swiss Army knife. It's contentment, for sure, but it's also a way to self-soothe in stressful moments. Kittens and their mothers purr to bond and let each other know they're okay. And of course, many of us know that slightly more urgent purr, the one that almost always means, hey, my food bowl is empty.
Okay, so we've covered happiness and communication. But now, we're diving into what might just be the most mind-blowing reason cats purr. It's an idea that sounds like it's straight out of science fiction, but it is backed by some very, very real science.
Just let that sink in for a second. What if that gentle rumble wasn't just a sound, but a form of built-in, low-frequency physical therapy? This number is the key to the whole thing. Scientists have measured the frequency of a domestic cat's purr, and it almost always falls within this very specific range, between 25 and 150 hertz.
And here's why that number is so incredibly important. It just so happens that this frequency range perfectly overlaps with frequencies that are used in human medicine for their therapeutic effects on bone and tissue. It's not a random vibration, it's a medically significant one. Seriously, vibrations in this 25 to 150 hertz range have been proven to help promote bone density, heal soft tissues like muscles and tendons, and even reduce pain and swelling. So when a cat is hurt or stressed, purring could literally be its way of actively healing itself from the inside out. Talk about an efficient evolutionary trait.
So, we've explored the mechanics, the different meanings, and even the hidden superpower of the purr. The question now is, how can we use all this to better understand our own furry friends?
It all boils down to one simple thing. Context is everything. To really understand what a purr means, you can't just listen to the sound. You have to look at the whole picture. The cat's body language, the situation, everything. Here's a quick little checklist to help you decode it. Is the cat's body all loose and relaxed? Maybe its eyes are half closed? That's probably contentment. But what if its ears are pinned back and its body is tense? That purr is likely for self-soothing. Is it weaving around your legs right before dinner? That's a request for sure. And if the cat is hiding and not acting like itself but is still purring, it could be trying to manage pan.
This quote just sums it up perfectly. A purr isn't a single word, it's an entire dictionary. It's a rich, complex language that can express a huge range of emotions and needs, from total bliss to serious distress.
And that kind of leaves us with one final thought. The next time you hear that familiar rumble, just pause for a second.
look a little closer. Listen with this new understanding. Because that sound is so much more than just a hum. It's a direct line to what your cat is feeling. So the real question is, what is your cat trying to tell you?